What is up, boys? We just received our very first Unearthed Arcana drop of 2021. Wizards of the Coast has graced us with brand new races, or now lineages, for us to playtest. So we're going to go over what those are today. But before we jump into that, only a small percentage of you guys who watch these videos are actually subscribed, and we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my very first upload on this channel. And if I could get to 4,000 subscribers by that time, February 10th, 2021, the obsessive compulsive demons in my head will finally be silenced. So if you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. But without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. So here's our first Unearthed Arcana content drop of 2021, Gothic Lineages. So this is playtest, can't use it in Adventurers League. Not that Adventurers League should be happening right now anyway. For the 3 lineages you get to choose from, we have the Dhampir, the Hexblood, and the Reborn. Dhampir being centered around the concept of vampirism, Hexblood being centered around hags, and Reborn being undead or zombies, constructs, something like that. Moving on, we have ability score increases. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, ability score increases were essentially completely reworked to be allow you to increase any ability scores you wanted. So in this case, for any of these 3 races or lineages, you can choose any score to increase by 2 and any score to increase by 1. Can't go above 20, the way it's always been. But you are not pigeonholed into any specific build with this. Languages, just like in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, they have also been overhauled to allow you to speak Common and one other language that the DM agrees on. Pretty simple. Creature type. Every creature in D&D has a special tag that identifies what they are. Here's all of them. Having more than one type, this is important because now we're actually going to get into the undead races. So, for example, if you are both a humanoid and undead, Cure Wounds would work for you because you are still considered a humanoid. It doesn't do half or none. Here's an interesting design note on changes to racial traits. They talk about how Tasha's Cauldron of Everything allowed you to customize pretty much everything. So, they're going to be changing the way races function and the way lineages function. So, racial traits henceforth reflect only the physical and magical realities of being a player character who is a member of a particular lineage. Such traits includes dark vision or a breath weapon like the Dragonborn get, innate magical ability like the Forest Gnome. Such traits don't include cultural characteristics like language or training with a weapon or tool, and the traits also don't include alignment suggestions, since alignment is a choice for each individual, not a characteristic shared by lineage. Finally, going forward, the term race in D&D refers only to suit the game features used by the player characters. Said features don't have any bearing on monsters and NPCs or who are members of the same species or lineage, since monsters and NPCs in D&D don't rely on race or class to function. Moreover, DMs are empowered to customize the game the way they want. So, let's move on to the first lineage. We got the Dhampir. Poised between worlds of living and the dead, Dhampirs retain their grip on life, yet endlessly tested by vicious hungers. This is your vampire race. We now have the vampirism race in D&D 5e. Finally, congratulations. So, what do we get as the Dhampir? First off, you can roll to decide what type of hunger you have. Blood, flesh or raw meat, cerebral spinal fluid, esoteric humors, psychic energy, a color from one's appearance, dreams, or life energy. You can have your origin listed here. If you'd like to read these over right here, you can do so. We have the traits. Dhampir traits are both humanoid and undead. Again, calls back to how healing works. Cure Wounds, healing word will work on you because you are considered a humanoid. You can be medium or small, and your movement speed is 35 feet, faster than the average humanoid. You get dark vision, spider climb, allowing you to climb with a speed equal to your walking speed. And at 3rd level, you can move up and down and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings while leaving your hands free. You also get the new Vampiric Bite. Your Fanged Bite is a natural weapon which counts as a simple melee weapon which you are proficient. You add your Constitution modifier to the attack and damage rolls when you attack with your Bite. Your Bite deals 1d4 piercing damage on a hit. While you are missing half or more of your hit points, you have advantage on attack rolls you make with the Bite. Very interesting. So being bloodied yourself gives you advantage. When you use your Bite and hit a creature that isn't a construct or an undead, you can empower yourself in one of the following ways. You can regain hit points equal to the damage dealt by the Bite, or you can gain a bonus to the next ability check or attack roll you make. The bonus equals the damage dealt, so up to +4. Additional on top of the attack roll you would already get with your Constitution bonus. Very nice. You can empower yourself with your bite a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses on a long rest. So pretty good overall. I think that we should get a bit more uses out of this racial trait rather than twice at level 1, but pretty good lineage racial trait overall. Moving on, we have the Hexblood. Where wishing fails, ancient magic can offer the heart's desire, or at least for a time. Hexbloods are individuals infused with eldritch magic, fey energy, or mysterious witchcraft. Some who enter bargains with hags gain their deepest wishes but eventually find themselves transformed. So, one way many hags create more of their kin is through creation of hexbloods. Every hexblood exhibits features suggestive of the hag whose magic inspires their power. This includes an unusual crown, often called an elder cross or witch's turn. This living garland-like part of the hexblood's body extends from their temples and wraps behind their head, serving as a visible mark of the bargain between the hag and hexblood, a debt owed or a change to come. So, becoming a hag. You, as a player character, can now become a hag. Hags can undertake a ritual to irreversibly transform a hexblood they created into a new hag, either one of their own kind that embodies the hexblood's nature. This requires that both the hag and the hexblood be in the same place and consent to the lengthy ritual. Circumstances most hexbloods shun but might come to accept over the course of centuries. Once a hexblood undergoes this irreversible ritual, they emerge as a hag NPC, no longer under control of the hexblood's player, unless the DM rules otherwise. So, which hag do you become? Completely up to you, apparently. But I think that if I were to use this, I would definitely let the player just become the hag. I think that that comes with a lot of implications. They would get a really fun new stat block they could work with, or just give them parts of the hag stat block. There's so many things you can do with this racial trait that is now hopefully going to become officially printed material. I really hope that these transformation type things get turned into future game mechanics. That would just be so fantastic and add a huge breath of life to the game. So for your Hexblood origins, you get you can roll from this table. Seeking a child, your parent made a bargain with a hag. You are the result of that arrangement, so stuff like that. For your traits, you are both considered fey and humanoid. You are medium or small. You have 30 feet of speed. You get dark vision. Fey resilience, you have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid or end the charmed condition on yourself. Hex magic, you can cast disguise self or hex spells with any of the intelligence, wisdom, or charisma as your spellcasting ability, but you have to choose one. When you gain the lineage, once you cast either of these spells, you can only do it once per long rest. You can cast these spells using any spell slots. So just gaining Hex and Disguise Self as a racial, pretty nice. Magic Token. As an action, you can harmlessly pull out one of your nails, a tooth, or a lock of hair. This token is imbued with magic until you finish a long rest. While the token is imbued in this way, you can use an action to send a telepathic message to the creature holding or carrying the token. As long as you are within the same plane of existence and within 10 miles of each other, the message can contain up to 25 words. In addition, while you're within 10 miles of the token, you can use your action to enter a trance for 1 minute, during which you can see and hear from the token as if you were located where it is. You can using these senses of the token's location, you are blinded and deafened in regard to your own surroundings. Afterward, the token is harmlessly destroyed. So you can plant like one of your teeth on a important NPC character and basically spy through them where you are. That's a pretty neat little thing you can do just as a racial, so I'm a big fan of that one. Once you create a token using this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, at which point your missing part regrows, so it is harmless. Finally, we have Reborn. Death isn't always the end. The Reborn exemplify this, being individuals who have died yet somehow still live. Some Reborn exhibit the scars of their fatal fates, their ashen flesh, missing limbs, or bloodless veins that make it clear they've been touched by death. Faded memories. Reborn suffer from some manner of discontinuity. An interruption of their lives or physical state that their minds are ill-equipped to deal with. Their memories of events before this interruption are often vague or absent. So you can roll for your lost memories here on this table right here. Your Reborn origins, you can reroll on this table right here. You were magically resurrected, but something went wrong. Stitches bind your body's mismatched pieces, and your memories come from multiple different lives. So get really creative with this one. Moving on to your traits. You are considered a humanoid as well as a construct or undead. You can choose when you take this lineage. Medium or small, and your speed is 30 feet. You have dark vision and deathless nature. You have escaped death, a fact represented by the following benefits. You have advantage on saving throws against disease and being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage. You have advantage on death saving throws. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. You don't need to sleep, and magic can't put you to sleep. You can finish a long rest in 4 hours if you spend those hours in an inactive, motionless state, during which you retain consciousness. So this is exactly playing like a normal construct would, like a Warforged, which gets to just become a sentry mode. That's pretty much how all of this functions, actually. I'm pretty sure all of these are the construct or the Warforged racial traits. And a quick clarification while editing this video, Warforged do not get advantage on death saving throws. That's it. Back to the rest of the video. Knowledge from a past life. You temporarily remember sporadic glimpses of the past, perhaps faded from memories ages long ago or a previous life. When you make an ability check that uses a skill, you can roll a d6 and add the number rolled to the check. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and get them all back on a long rest. So yes, this basically functions like Warforged Plus, minus a couple of their features, but also gaining stuff like knowledge from a past life. Now, if you guys remember all the way back to, I think it was Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, we had the Hollowed One that was the Revenant type race that was introduced in D&D, but it wasn't actually considered a race. It was considered a gift. So if I were to roll this character, or one of my players wanted to roll this character, I think I would also give them the Hollowed One gift, because it seems to really fit with this Reborn Lineage. So that is what we got for our very first Unearthed Arcana drop of 2021. Gothic Lineages, 3 new lineages, all undead themed, to make your games just a bit more grimdark. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions review of the brand new content we just received. If you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. We got a lot more content coming up soon, plus Candlekeep Mysteries review coming to you in about a month and a half when it drops in March. So until next time, guys, have fun, stay safe, and as always, happy gaming.